Is Poland still safe? Today we're going to be reacting to another Aliens in Poland video. We like them, and link to the original video down in the description below as always. Yeah, I'm always excited to see what they have in store for us. If you like the conversations and discussions we do here on my channel, consider subscribing. Let's get into it.
My favorite part about Poland, I feel very free here.
Where I go here in Kraków, I never feel like I'm in danger. And it's such a contrast from being in the UK.
Takie, co by bardzo ułatwiło życie w Meksyku, no to na pewno bym przyniosła poziom bezpieczeństwa.
South Africa is vastly different to Poland when it comes to safety.
In my country, I would not be able to feel safe 2 kilometers away from the radius of my house.
I cannot give you an answer that doesn't sound super racist.
Being Latina, living in
Isn't that the kind of the irony about everything? It's like, what is the point of being accepting and inclusive, but not of ideas and discussions, because people will paint you as racist or fascist or all these other terms solely because they don't want to hear you. And the worst part about all that is that it actually dilutes the word so much that actual racists and all these people can get away with more. So it's kind of ironic how the whole thing works. But I wanted to replay that again because look at his face.
My house.
He just seems like a regular dude, a genuine guy, and he's trying to tiptoe on eggshells. For what?
I cannot give you an answer that doesn't sound super racist.
being Latina, living in Poland, I think that
Like he did, he's not like he was like, I can't do, like he wasn't like an evil face about it. He's just trying to like be correct, I guess. Politically correct.
You always tell me Poland is so safe, but how safe are we talking?
It's safe enough that I don't have to worry about shady neighborhoods. I'm not scared of coming back home at night. And honestly, I just started appreciating that when I started to travel abroad.
But I think safety could mean different for different.
But that's kind of a flex, though. I'll be honest. That's really a flex. Because it's like, imagine America, strongest military in the world, in the history of the planet. Yet we can't even protect our own people from walking down the street. Like, and our police budgets are probably as much as some of these smaller countries, and yet we can't even protect ourselves. Oh my God. It's such a flex. Right on, Poland. You got us good. You got us.
Different people, right? Where I grew up in India, even I felt like super safe. I know that might be surprising to some people, but maybe one place I didn't feel so safe when I was walking or crossing and I had to always run across the street.
We did a lot of street interviews.
Also, he felt safe because he was a dude. Okay, so let's just man, I really like these guys, but they're just, this is the second video I felt like that was a miss. That little, hey, just because I like the channel doesn't mean I ain't gonna call it out. I'll call it out as I see it. But maybe he felt safe because he's a dude. We know how things are for women over there. Let's not act like it would be different. Or like it wouldn't be different. It would definitely be different if he was a woman.
And the topic that came up a lot was safety in Poland.
Before we get started, please click the bell icon so that you can get notified of every new video we drop on this channel. And also please click that subscribe button. It helps a lot.
Let's get started.
You guys should subscribe to that channel. I really like this channel a lot. As much as I've lately been disagreeing with some of the things they've been saying, I actually do like this channel a lot. I like these guys.
Is Daniel Christopher Lalewicz. If you're Polish, Lalewicz.
Can you tell us more about your background?
So I'm from 3 different places: the United States, the United Kingdom, and Poland. So I was born in the States.
You got both the passports on?
Yep. By technicality, I am an American because I was born there and it's birthright citizenship. And I'm obviously Polish because I've got Polish parents and my whole bloodline is Polish. But the weird thing is I grew up 15 years, the majority in England.
Do you consider yourself more English or more Polish?
At this point in my life, I would definitely say Polish.
My name is Zineb. I'm half Polish, half Moroccan. Was born in Poland, Szczecin. It's in the northwest of Poland. Then I moved to Morocco when I was like 1 year old. I was living there till 17 and I finished high school and then moved back to Poland for studies. So actually I literally spent half of my life in Poland and half of my life in Morocco.
So she went back to the homeland. She went back to Poland. That's pretty cool.
Cześć, czy możesz się przedstawić?
Cześć, jestem Magda, jestem Polką, mieszkam w Meksyku od 5 lat, jestem nauczycielką polskiego i hiszpańskiego.
Jak Meksykanie reagują, gdy dowiadują się, że jesteś z Polski?
Są bardzo ciekawi tego, jacy są Polacy, jaka jest Polska. Zawsze znają i pada nazwisko Lewandowskiego, znają też papieża, Polaka oczywiście. Kilka pytań, które się zawsze powtarza, to czy mówimy po rosyjsku, ale bardzo szybko ich wtedy prostuję. Druga rzecz, która jest też taka zabawna, czy cały rok na przykład jest zima, czy
Niedźwiedzie polarne.
niedźwiedzie polarne, pingwiny.
Dang, is my people really that? I'm just kidding. No, look, as much I say I'm American because I live here, but my culture is Mexican. So, like, I have family in Mexico, stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I speak Spanish. I can read and write it. I lived in Texas. It's basically it's pretty much half Mexico because it was Mexico at one point. But yeah, that's actually really funny that my people ask these questions.
I renifery.
I'm Jared, and I am an English teacher that lives and works in Warsaw, Poland.
How are you treated as a South African by Polish people?
I think the first thing is that they don't believe I'm South African. They ask me why I'm white. And then secondly, everybody also says that I look like a Pole. I don't know if it's the baldness or just
Probably.
my constant serious face when I'm walking down the street. But yeah, I love the way that people treat me. Yeah.
My name is Belinda Pereira. I live in Warsaw for about 8 years, and I came here to study. I'm originally from India, but I haven't lived there since 2008.
And so you came to study, but why did you choose to study in Poland?
I was looking for a safe country and a Christian country, with the course being in English, and Poland checked all of the boxes.
At least she was like, she knew exactly what she wanted. I think that's pretty cool. I think people need to be more upfront about and openly honest about what they're looking for when they migrate somewhere else, right? It kind of reminds me of these countries where sex tourism is really popular and people want to, and I know this is separate, like a separate rant, but I just have to say it. It's just like a lot of these people talk about these other countries, but then they like tiptoe around the sex tourism because that's really why they're there. That's why I always think it's important that like when you talk about other countries, like when I first started covering Poland, I said I'm a tourist. I'm gonna be a tourist because that's what I am. Will I ever live there? I don't know. I can't plan that. That's just fate. Is that if I end up with find a Polish wife, that is fate working itself out, not me. Right? Like I don't plan for that kind of stuff. Same thing when I'm planning to visit the Philippines. I'm going to be a tourist. Anytime I visit a country, I'm going to be a tourist. And so that's what I guess my rant is more about content creators who like are disingenuous about their intentions. Like seeing people who actually live there be clear with their intentions. I think creators should be clear too. Like if they're going there for this weird expat sex tourism bro type shit, like they need to be up in front about it. But if you're going to be a tourist, like be a good tourist. Like I don't know. I maybe y'all don't care about that. I just got to put it in here because it's been a while since I've talked about it.
Benjamin Karlsson, and I'm from Sweden. I'm now living in Poland, Kraków. I work as a software engineer, and I'm trying to find a new life here in Poland.
Why Poland?
There's my reason. She stands behind the camera. My partner, she's Polish.
Hi, I am Noelia. I am a Paraguayan living in Poland for 6 years.
Let's talk about the things you like about Poland.
You can commute in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Transportation is amazing.
Some of you said that that's not true because we talked about traveling. Someone unless I'm because we were talking about like destinations to travel to. Some of you said that like 30 minutes, yeah, but it's 20 minutes is probably not. Unless I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure quite a few of you were like, no, it's not that fast unless you're like really like on the money every time about where you need to go. But I don't know. Maybe I'm a little cynical. Public transportation.
Also, it's a very green place. The roads are very suitable for bikes.
So
Nice.
do you like it here in Poland?
I love it here. I like safety, and I really do feel that. And it's such a contrast from being in the UK, where you don't feel that safe. Obviously, it depends on the area where you are, but being like around London, you don't feel that safe. And in Poland, it's like a complete opposite. You feel super safe. You can go out at night stroll through the park and I don't feel like I might get stabbed. I wouldn't want to start a family and raise my child where I was raised, in a town called Slough. Whew, if you're from England, you hear Slough, you know what I'm talking about. It's not...
You might get slaughtered.
True.
I definitely wouldn't want my son growing up in the environment where I grew up. I can tell you that for sure. And Poland, I think this is a good place to do it.
What's something that you take from Poland
How ironic! But then if you criticize why it's like that, you get called racist. Crazy.
and give to UK?
Safety. Let's give England safety. Like, the families need it. The people need it. You know, Maslow created the hierarchy of needs, and one of the base needs is like a feeling of safety and security. So how can you like go up and start to self-actualize if you don't even feel safe in where you are in your own community? So I would give them safety.
My favorite part about Poland, I feel
He's spitting facts though. He's kind of right. Low key. He's really right.
very free here. It's not the same that when I was in Morocco. I always needed to dress in a certain way, not to speak to all like men, strangers, be mindful about what I'm saying, how like people will be judging me. In Poland, it's completely different. I do feel safe. I can like wear whatever I want, whenever I want. Also, I never feel, like not safe, even going out at night alone. So I guess that's like quite important for a woman. And I really, really feel this difference here in Poland.
Would you say like Poland is one of the safest places?
To the places where I've been, yeah, definitely. Like I've traveled a little bit in Europe, Latin America. I was also in Asia, but when it comes to this, yeah, in Poland I do feel the safest, I would say.
Jeśli miałabyś wybrać jedną rzecz i przenieść ją z Polski do Meksyku, co by to było?
Kurczę, ja biorę Meksyk takim, jaki on jest, ale no dobra, takie, co by bardzo ułatwiło życie w Meksyku, no to na pewno bym przyniosła poziom bezpieczeństwa.
Mexico is extremely dangerous, by the way.
Takie poczucie, że na przykład będąc kobietą mogę sobie wyjść o każdej porze dnia praktycznie. No dobra, teraz to się trochę zmienia przez ostatnie jakieś wydarzenia, o których tam jest głośno, ale wciąż nie jest to na takim poziomie jak w Meksyku. Wiem, że mogę sobie iść na imprezę z koleżankami, że mogę zamówić Ubera i nie muszę wszystkim wysyłać mojej lokalizacji, że czuję się bezpiecznie jadąc pociągiem, autobusem. Wiele takich moich koleżanek Meksykanek mówiło: Magda, jak byłam w Europie albo w ogóle w Polsce, mogłam jechać pociągiem i zamknąć oczy.
Like the thing about Mexico is, as somebody like, the cartels are extremely dangerous and violent over there. So, and people say, well, oh, wouldn't she be the most unsafe? No, this is the logic you guys need to understand. If a white person like this gets kidnapped, they're gonna make the news. If someone who looks like me gets kidnapped, we won't make the news because we look like everyone else there. So that's the point. Is that unironically the white ladies in Mexico are the safest people, especially if you got money, because you could just always buy your way out of anything in most cases.
I się nie martwić, że nie wiem, że ktoś...
Unless you're that TikTok influencer that unfortunately got shot on a live TikTok live stream. Isn't that crazy? But then again, she was a Mexican national.
Mi coś zrobi złego. I to jest takie trochę łamiące serce, ale jakbym mogła przynieść jedną rzecz, to na pewno by było to.
Właśnie mówiąc o tym bezpieczeństwie, bo wydaje mi się, że w Polsce właśnie Meksyk ma taką łatkę kraju niebezpiecznego. Jak według ciebie Polacy postrzegają Meksyk?
No właśnie tak postrzegają. Przez pryzmat tych karteli, trochę naoglądali się jakichś tam narkosów. Co ja też nie jestem fanką tego narkosa, bo taka romantyzacja takich przestępców, nazwijmy to szczerze, to nie jest za fajna rzecz i nie stawia tego w takim obrazie, jak to wygląda naprawdę. Ludzie aż nabywają takiej sympatii do tych głów karteli.
I actually do agree with her. Yeah, that show actually doesn't help anything, because the thing, like, the cartels are extremely active in Mexico. So let's not pretend like they're not. But what she's describing is actually kind of true.
Co jest moim zdaniem bardzo dziwne i szkodliwe.
What's the Swedish perception of Poland?
Oh, the Swedish perception of Poland is that it's grey. People use horse and cart, and it looks like Second World War movies.
And what's your perception?
The totally opposite. It's super nice. People are super friendly, super open, not super open. Depends where you go. But it's super safe. One of the main things that I really appreciate here in Poland, wherever you go or where I go here in Kraków, I never feel like I'm in danger or like I don't feel like it's a shady neighborhood.
As safe as compared to Sweden?
Much more safe than Sweden. We have a lot of problem now with gang violence and bombs, shootings.
Yeah, people apparently, because they don't have guns as much, but because they don't have as many guns, people are started using like hand grenades over there to kill each other. Man, isn't guys? You guys really Hey, but don't worry, guys. You guys are Swedish people, man. Don't worry. You're gonna get so many likes on Twitter for how woke you guys are over there. Love it. Love that you guys love this kind of gang violence in y'all's country. Love it for you guys, because everyone's gonna love you on Twitter. Trust me. The likes are gonna be incredible for you.
So there's areas where you don't really want to go anymore. Sometimes when you sit on the bus, you can feel like this tension, you know? And I remember when I went to Warsaw the first time, I was walking around, take the metro. I was like, I don't feel like anyone is going to stab me here. And I was thinking about it, like, why is it like this? And I cannot give you an answer that doesn't sound super racist, so I'm not going to answer at all.
We wanted to know that, actually.
I can tell you off camera.
Okay, fair enough. We'll respect your boundary.
Yeah, we all know what it is. Come on now.
I'm not an expert on this, but we do have problems in Sweden.
Yeah, but the safety aspect, all I want to know is, do you think that it's going to change anytime soon?
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. Not anytime soon, because it's just getting worse and worse. On my birthday 2 years ago, there was a shooting on my street where I live, and I live 10 minutes from the city center with a bicycle, so it's supposed to be a safe area. On the TV, you see there's more and more shootings. Then now they're hiring kids to go and kill other people.
But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. You will be so woke and progressive on Twitter, bro. Like, you will be so, yas, Queen Slay. Just let all these people in here. Yas, Queen Slay. Yas. And then if you disagree, you're racist. Yas, Queen Slay. God, I'm so over it. I'm so over this like weird, this like disconnected from reality mentality that existed in the world for the past 4 years
on social media. It's crazy.
What is your favorite thing about Poland?
What comes to the top of my mind is it's safe as a country for a woman. I appreciate my country and where I come from, but as a person who practices sports, I know that in my country, I would not be able to feel safe 2 kilometers away from the radius of my house.
Yep. And there's a bunch of horror stories about stuff like that. But also, isn't it ironic that a lot of these countries who just let everyone in, the people who are the biggest victims are women? Isn't it crazy? How very progressive of them to make women the victims in their own country. How fantastic of them. Isn't that crazy that they so humble of them to make women of their own country collateral damage to all these people that they're bringing in who, one, culturally don't respect women, 2, just don't care, and 3, culturally can have been able to get away with a lot. So that's why you see horror stories, and I say not just news stories, horror stories about the treatment of women in these countries from these migrants and these illegal immigrants.
But in Poland, I feel so safe to go riding, to go running. I don't have to even think safety is something to consider because it's just there. It's a luxury that I will never take for granted.
Amen. Again, and then sometimes people say, well, they're not all like that. Well, culturally, if you look at the countries, some countries are. Like, I don't understand. Like, some cultures allow men, to just do whatever with women because they don't see them as humans. So it's like, this is the thing. It's like, there's this like weird wokeness that just, they can't fathom that there's different, the world is different than their social media TikTok. Insane to me.
In Poland, as a woman, I am free to do what I want.
Amen.
And to make goals for myself as I want. For example, if I want to go to the gym, I have 20 zdrowits around me. I don't have to travel about 60 minutes just to get to a zdrowit. I didn't have this in my country because I come from a village. It would also be far away, so I would be dependent on somebody taking me there because I'm not sure if I'm coming back late in the evening, would I be safe? It's something that I could not experience in my country. And so I'm very grateful for the opportunity I have in Poland.
The first thing that I love from Poland and that actually keeps me here is the safety. Being a woman, this is the primary thing that I love from being in Poland.
How would you compare the safety of Poland compared to Paraguay?
We know that Latin America has issues with those things. Most of the women are not feeling safe. You can't be in late hours outside. Here you can jog, you can be after a party at 3 a.m.
Dang, but how dare you? How dare she categorize all Paraguayans that way? How dare she? She's racist. Oh my God. That's what they would be saying. That's what they will be saying about her. Isn't that crazy?
Knowing that you will be home. Things happen. We know that. You always have to be careful in everything. I have some friends that they always have to share their location when they take an Uber, for example. You need to be in companion.
There's some districts maybe that
There
you
are
have to
some
avoid.
places where I come from is very safe, but for sure during nights you should be careful.
South Africa is vastly different to Poland when it comes to safety. And in South Africa, you can never walk at night, specifically alone. But if you do, you're seen as putting your life at risk. And I mean that in the most literal sense. And here, I started walking around at night thinking like, whoa, and like carrying my phone out, being like, oh, look, nothing's happening. But I remember my girlfriend and myself went to a movie until like maybe 11, 12 at night. And so we were walking back at midnight. I've been raised to be hyper alert at night because you genuinely don't know who's planning what. And so we were walking down the road and this car like pulled up and I literally took her and threw her out of the way. And I was like, oh God, you run. And the guy just pulled over and I got out the car and went to his house. She's like, what is happening? Then I explained to her, no, it's just very different. That's the big one for me. The safety has let me live in a way that I hadn't known before, in the sense that I can breathe. There's a sense of overwhelming peace.
There's a sense of you being able to invest into your future because you don't think some bullshit's going to happen. And then when you end up being the victim of something, you try to address it, but then you get called racist and you then end up becoming the bad guy when you were the victim all along. We see that so often in America. Is actually ridiculous.
I don't have to constantly fear for the small things. The stress is somewhat different. So like here, people stress about work and all of that stuff is still obviously real. The sun, it actually does affect me. But the safety makes a massive difference because it makes you feel like you can kind of get by and everything is secondary. You have a sense of like, yeah, I can still live my life without constantly looking over my shoulder, which, like I said, that's nice.
Man, I know a lot of sarcasm in this video, but I really like this channel. These guys are great. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. And I'll check you on the next one. Love you guys. Bye-bye. This video is brought to you actually by viewers like you. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. Let's create new memories this 2025 on our road to 1 million subscribers. And with all that jazz out of the way, I just want to say thank you so much. I love y'all and enjoy the video.